Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I urge you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here this Thursday, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in. As always, my co-host that's been holding it down with us for 123 episodes in a row.
Come on, 123, baby.
Come on, man. Is not only a Texas real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, known the world over as the Texas real estate king, holding it down in the pure hustle, clothing brand gear that we always rock out with here on the Prime Real Estate Network. I want to introduce to the audience my co-host, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on, my guy?
Hey, man, I can't complain. I'm happy with it. I almost switched up, though. I almost didn't pull out the PH because of the guest that we having today, and I knew the way she was going to be dressed, and I know your game. Yeah. I was like, maybe I need to get a little sharp. But then overwhelmingly, the PH pulled me.
No. But this is the thing, though. No, I'm glad you did rep because after last week's episode, when I had my PH on, everybody in the comments was like, "Oh, Rick D, you in now? You got some more?" So look, we got to have an assortment of colors so we can do something like that at least once a quarter, man. Because we want to make sure we show appreciation to all the customers and everybody who support us online and on the website, man. So what's been going on this week, Brooks?
Not much, man. Staying busy, man. I don't know, man. You know, just staying busy, man. I want to send out condolences to the Xavier Robinson family. We called him Zay, a musician, a basketball talent that was from the CUNY homes here in Houston, grew up in Lufkin, Texas, but a great friend, man. And just want to give a warm condolences to his family. We lost him on Sunday. And so I'll be getting more information so that he had a nonprofit called the Long Way Foundation, which really helps youth, that may not have parental figures in their lives. So he had a nonprofit that functioned that way, as well as a young daughter. So as soon as I get more information, I want to provide that to our guests, our followers, our family, so that we can continue to support the growth and the things that he was building in the community.
Oh, no, that's real strong and powerful, brother. I want to let his family know that they're in our prayers, and we definitely send out our heartfelt condolences.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Larry.
Yes, sir.
Today's episode.
Let's go.
Now, we always at the Prime Real Estate Network podcast like to let our audience know that one of the main reasons why we feel so proud to be able to build this platform is because, every Thursday about 12 o'clock, Texas Real Estate King opens up his black book of connects, real estate pros, and no doubt experts.
Shakers and movers and understandings of their industry and the city of the Houston, man. I'm telling you.
Now, what makes today's episode one of those standouts is because one of the things about your platform that you've been able to take advantage of in real estate is leveraging social media, marketing, promotion. And I know you get a lot of questions about what is it that you do, how is it that you do it, what have you done to get your social media vision and platform, something that's grown consistently over time. And I know it's hard to explain, but today we're going to give everyone the keys to the PR car.
Expert.
Come on, man, so they can get off the sideline and get on the freeway and the highway and make it happen. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, not just a public relations expert, not just a social media strategist, but she is on the forefront and one of the most accomplished entrepreneurs here in the greater Houston area. And I would like to introduce to our audience, Miss Julie O. Griffith. How are you?
How in the building.
There it is.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Thank you for having me back again at the Prime Real Estate Network, where they get it popping every Thursday with some amazing guests.
Now, Julie. Now, we won't assume that everyone who's checking out this episode of our podcast has already been introduced to you online and know exactly what it is that you provide as a good and or a service. So I want to give you this opportunity to introduce your company and let everyone know how it is that you bring people's dreams to reality.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Julie O. Griffith. I am the owner, as you know, for years, as well as Larry, of J. Griffith Public Relations, celebrating this year 15 years in the business, a boutique PR firm based here in Houston, Texas. We specialize in small business entrepreneurs, ideation, startups, and those that are really ready to start using PR to take their brand to the next level when they're ready.
Now, cool thing about Larry and I having the privilege of knowing you for so long is that we've watched not only your brand build, but we've been able to see the people that you've worked with expand their brand and see the results of them working with you. So without getting too much, because I don't want to put you on the spot, but could you talk to our audience about some of the brands that you've worked with and that you've helped to build what it is that they're doing for as far as a platform?
Absolutely. I've worked with some amazing brands, larger names that we might know, such as Ford, Honda, American Airlines. Also, a lot of local brands in Houston that we might know also. Most recently working with Rashid and Ready to Love and all that other fun stuff.
My man.
The season 2, part 2 is starting April 2nd or something like that. Yeah, the promo just dropped. So it's going to be another round of shenanigans. So we will be right there for it. So definitely working with those brands has given me a great sense of like overall corporate. I mean, you go from massive contracts with BP and Shell to, much smaller contracts and entrepreneurs like us that are in the mud, in the weeds, and just looking really, once they get their brand to a certain level, to now get it out there and really push that PR publicity and promotion that they need.
Now, and you mentioned that you work with major publicly traded corporations, but as well as entrepreneurs here in the local level like a Rashid Floyd. Could you speak to, in your years of networking, what it is that local entrepreneurs miss as far as public relations that you tend to help fill in that gap for them?
Absolutely. I honestly think that local entrepreneurs miss the fact that it is a process and they have to trust the process. Like, you can't just wake up one day and be like, hey, I want to be on Oprah, I want to be on Great Day Houston, and then get me the 5 o'clock slot on Fox with Isaiah Carey. It doesn't work like that. Like, PR is a grind. There's pitching, there's relationship management, there's talking to editors, producers, and showrunners multiple times in a week.
Multiple times, right?
Without becoming a bugaboo and then getting sent to the trash folder. There's managing your client's brand and their image, pushing them forward. So I tell a lot of people, you research me and then you call our firm or, some of my other PR counterparts. But when we start working, you're like, oh, it's go time. I need things to happen. No, it's a whole process that goes behind this. You have to trust the process. Unlike sales and marketing, where it's more of a tangible good up front and you can like track numbers and sales, PR is more of those intangible skills. So the value comes a little bit further down the road.
Because you know so much about your industry and what it is that you do that I'm sure your aura and your energy just gives off as soon as you walk into a room. But what I want to make sure we do, because there are multiple entrepreneurs that we've had sitting in the same seat that you're sitting in, authors like Mr. Brooks who've authored multiple books, and I'm sure you've worked with many a local independent author as far as PR and getting their brand out there and promoting their book. So could you just help to alleviate any of the anxiety that someone might have who may feel like they're not in a position to be able to work with you? There'll be so many people who may want to call you, who know you, who follow you online, who might just feel like, I'm not ready to work with Julie. So could you give those people an idea of when they will know it's time to give you a call?
Absolutely. And interestingly that you said that, because Larry is like a multi-book author. One of my very first clients, you guys might know this guy because he's your frat, Finesse Mitchell, the comedian. I cut my teeth with Finesse years ago on his first book, Girl, Get Your Mind Right. This is when he was still at SNL. We did a huge book signing at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. And that's when I really got into celebrity and sports PR. But I would definitely tell authors, the time for you to start calling a publicist is not when your book is done. It's really about halfway through, because now the big thing is pre-sales and pre-digital sales. So buzz and hype cannot come when your editor sends you your final reel or your final package. The buzz and the hype it needs to start almost halfway, like sending out first chapters to people, building out some type of pre-workshops, like, hey, I'm going to do a live reading of the book, making sure that you're getting that pre-sale and that buzz, and using a publicist to seek out the mediums and channels where you'd want to show up. For instance, if you're an African American female author, you want to do the Essence, the Madame Wad, the Bossip, the Black Enterprise. I mean, there's so many. And then there's so many offshoots also. Now you have LinkedIn content, you have Medium content.
Wow.
So I would honestly say as an author, the best time to call me is maybe when you're halfway through your plan, because it really takes about a year to write a book.
Right.
So right at that 6 months time, that's when you contact me. Like, listen, I want to start getting pre-buzz and pre-sales. These are the channels that I'm looking at, and this is where I want to go. Because, you know, if you trust the process, it's not, okay, you call me on Tuesday, you're in Black Enterprise on Wednesday.
Wow.
Slow down.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's take a step back.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so definitely I would say, and then I do have 2 consultations. I have my 15-minute, $75 consultation. That is, you just data dump everything on me. Let's see if you're even a client, or I can at least pass you on to another PR person, or tell you, hey, don't hire anyone yet, you're not ready. Or we can do our 1-hour coaching call. We'll go through your business, go through your book, go through where you are, what you're trying to do. So before you start hiring PR firms and publicists and paying retainers and getting nothing out of it,
Right.
do my hour consultation first. Let me help you figure out where you are and what you want to do in your book process,
Right.
and let's go from there.
And
So
see-
that's what I would tell authors.
See, this is the luxury that Larry and I have, being able to reach out to someone like you and have you come on our show, because what you're doing now is educating our audience. These are lessons that they don't have in classrooms. These aren't lessons that you can just find on YouTube until you check out this episode of the Prime
No
Real Estate
doubt,
Network.
yes.
But
Check out this episode.
absolutely, but
And you know, those are the type of gems that slide in, especially when it's International Women's Month, right?
hey, come on,
So
look.
you know we
Hey.
get, you know, we got that special drop that just took place. So
No, because Julie, I want you to share with our audience what it is that they should be looking for when they're vetting PR firms.
Absolutely.
What separates the real from the fake? What separates high-level service and education versus someone who just has gotten into the industry, may not necessarily be as experienced, or may not have the know-how as someone in your position?
Definitely. I would say when you're looking for a PR firm, I have a great download that's on my website, julieogriffith.com.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a $7 download. It's
Right.
called 9 Things You Need to Ask a PR Firm Before You Hire Them. And it kind of helps you navigate things that maybe your mom didn't tell you. Like, hey, if you're going to hire a PR firm, look at their track record. That's the first thing you want to look at. Are they easily accessible? Like when you Google me, I own like the first 5 pages of Google. You know, are there any other clients that they have that you can kind of look at and say, okay, I'm similar to that client. I've seen what they've done for them. Maybe they can do that for me. Also, look at the fact when you book a consultation or a meeting with them, are they on time? Do they take days to contact you back, or do they at least call you back immediately from their virtual assistant or themselves? Do they acknowledge emails on time? And more importantly, I would honestly just say, look at the consistency and the track record. I could really go in depth in this, but I really want people to get the download. It's
Absolutely.
It's
No doubt
fabulous.
about it, yeah.
But, you know, those are, especially with digital, again, being so accessible, like anyone can Google LarryWBrooks, they can Google Rick, they can Google me. You know, we own our pages. So you want to see consistency and a track record. And when you talk to that person, ask them a few questions to make sure they understand PR and publicity. Do they have a Rolodex? You know, do they have, you know, can they really get you into those trade publications? Can they really get you into the Black Enterprises and the Houston Chronicles? Do they only specialize in maybe television, or is radio a great?
Oh, wow, that's deep.
Yeah, like some people, even
Yeah.
certain platforms, like they're great at radio, they can't get you a TV spot. They're amazing at getting you op-ed and print, but they can't get you a full column. So, you know, kind of ask what mediums are best for them. A lot of these newer PR firms are pure social media. Like if it's not social media, they're not really trying to work with you. So, you know, make sure they understand you might want more of a mix of traditional
Right.
plus social plus a few other things. So
Absolutely.
make sure that the publicist and the PR person works for you. Also, if they're super new to the industry, I know the big thing now is doing it for the gram. And, you know, if it's not
Right.
on the gram, it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
right.
Yeah.
Now, that's good for you as a brand, but that's not what your publicist or your PR person is there for.
Right.
Okay, so if their whole business is built on Cash App, and I have a lot of social media followers, that doesn't translate to someone who can write a press release at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm talking about a good press release,
Exactly.
typo-free,
Right.
and get it into the hands of editors, producers, and showrunners that they have a strong relationship with that can get you landed media and platform.
You know, and see, and I don't know how often you run into this because you are so knowledgeable and you do such an outstanding job of communicating really complex topics, but in a way that new clients or prospective clients can actually digest and take in. I'm sure you get this a lot, is your background. Mm-hmm. How did you get into this and what did you do before this? But I don't want you to go into that now because I want to talk to you about that when we come back from our break.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors, but we will be right back. This is Rick Davis, realtor and host of the Prime Real Estate Network. Are you currently leasing or looking to relocate to the Houston area and you find yourself falling in love with the home but aren't quite in a position to purchase? Well, no worries. We offer the Right to Purchase program. We can place you in the home of your dreams at current market rental rates and give you up to 3 years to buy. Did you know that a majority of the homes that are for sale offer better quality than those that are for rent? So why wait? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Let me and my team help you purchase a home that you and your family can fall in love with. Give me a call today at 832-928-3963. And remember to follow the Prime Real Estate Network podcast on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Be blessed.
I'm serial entrepreneur Larry W. Brooks, and I'd like to personally invite you to take a closer look at the Pure Hustle clothing brand, along with several books that I've authored to take entrepreneurs, small business owners to the next level of their business. So please take a look at shoplwb.com. How do you survive?
Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, riding shotgun with me here on the show is the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, boss, I can't complain, man. Having an amazing time. You know, it's crazy because you always get these type of questions that Julie has been able to answer for us today when it comes to PR. When do I need this? And the difference between that and what a marketing person would do. So just having her here and the nuggets that they dropping, I'm excited about it. Also, want to reach out to y'all out there in our Facebook world. But before doing so, Rick has a special surprise.
How you doing, Prime Real Estate Network fam, man? I told you here on this show, man, we want to thank everyone who supports the show, who follows the show, who subscribes to our YouTube channel. But most importantly, those who refer business to the Brooks and Davis Real Estate fam at the Prime Real Estate Network. So it is my pleasure to announce that for anyone who refers a buyer, meaning that they buy a new home with me or Mr. Brooks, or a seller who lists their home with the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, those referring will receive this brand new out-the-box PS5. Now, Larry, I don't know if you still play video games.
I don't. But I have a whole 14-year-old that does.
Oh, okay. So you can understand the excitement surrounded about it. So just in case people think it's a game because it's people online telling you what they'll give you, but they don't have it in their hand. Look, I have it right here in the flesh. So my cell phone still rings. Larry, your phone still ringing?
It's still ringing. Let's go.
Hey, look, man, if you know anybody who, and this is in all candor and transparency, if you know anyone who's looking to buy, sell, or invest, please refer them to Mr. Brooks or myself, man. We would love to work with them. As you guys know, it is our pleasure to serve everyone in the state of Texas, especially here in the greater Houston area. So, as always, Mr. Brooks, man, big shout out. I know you're going to talk to everybody who looks out for us on Patreon.
Yeah. So everyone that takes an opportunity, again, to follow the organization, to go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button, share. You know, we thank you for the increase in people that have been going, but continue to share. It helps out on the algorithm. As plus, it helps to grow the platforms of the guests that we have that come onto the show. We want to be able to provide value to them. And, of course, please feel free to follow us on our Patreon page. We're about to get ready to start getting some secret things like PlayStation 2's taking place around here.
Fives.
There's a 5.
Come on, boys, be unfollowing us. We giving away 2s. We giving away the 5.
Yes, 5.
I say I have a 14-year-old that play, not I. But anyway, but with that being said, Facebook family, we're gonna bid you guys goodbye. But again, go to the YouTube page and finish watching there and be able to continue to support us. We appreciate you.
Hey, man, that was outstanding, man. Our guest is a social media expert and a public relations guru, a brand ambassador, brand marketing expert, and one of the most successful entrepreneurs that we've ever had the opportunity to have sitting on our show.
Yes,
so I want to thank her for sitting in at the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, Miss Julie O. Griffith. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, sir. You know, I love coming up here with clients or just hanging out with you guys. It's such a good service to the community, especially for women in business that need these platforms. So
Yes.
kudos to you guys and keep the party going.
Well, I'm going to ask the question that everyone would be interested in knowing but may not have the opportunity to ask you. One of the things that is really intriguing about interviewing entrepreneurs and business owners like yourself is seeing who you are today versus the evolutionary path that you had to walk to get to where you are today. How often do people ask you about your life before entrepreneurship? And when you're explaining what you did before becoming a business owner, how is it that you explain your transition?
Definitely. Well, I'm like a lot of people, I'm an oil, gas, and energy refugee. So, you know, living in Houston, that's where it comes from. So originally from London, England, came to America, proud immigrant. Shout out to all the Jamaicans and all the Jamaicans and the Guyanese people that are on the list. And Florida A&M University. So I'm a Rattler, Bachelor of Science in Journalism, MBA in Marketing from Rice. And when I got into really oil, gas, and energy, you know, I was in marketing and communications and consulting in that D&I and women's space. And as you know, that's a 99% white male industry. So when I started my business, I really cut my teeth on PR and crisis comms with BP. So I worked on all of the North American communication for BP when BP basically blew up the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
So I was between here and New Orleans for 3 years, just kind of fixing those communications, managing the advertising firms out of New York that had screwed up all the messaging, going back and forth to London to kind of keep them calm over here. And from there, you know, I literally, when I left BP, I was like, you know, I could probably do this by myself. And that's when I started my consulting firm. So this is like where we had dial-up, had a Yahoo email address. I had a dining room table.
Wow.
This is going to make you guys laugh. I know Larry will appreciate this. I had that marble brown Vistaprint business card. You already know, with the double side. Like, we were hot. And I said Vistaprint on the back because I wanted to get the free one. So I mean, I started very, very humble. And I was like, you know, if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, let me do it now. I'm not married. I don't have children. I don't have a mortgage. This is a good time to fail big. I have an amazing resume. So if all this doesn't work out, we're right back in that job market.
I know, because one of the things that I think is a foundation of who you are is your ability to educate. I don't know if that's something that tangibly you embrace as a talent, but the way that you're able to educate not only contemporaries but also clients, and also the level of public service and wanting to serve the public that I think you adhere to is something that's really impressive. Could you tell our audience about your newest venture?
Absolutely. Yeah. My newest venture is with my brand, Champagne and Melanin. Where we celebrate, collaborate, and create the lifestyle of Black women entrepreneurs in Houston. And actually, this is my newest venture, which is the Houston Relief Fund. And a little bit of background behind that. I've been trying to start some type of fund for African-American business women entrepreneurs in Houston for a while. And what inspired me was that when COVID hit, the Dooney Fund, which is by Digital Undivided, the largest tech platform for Black women in the world, awarded me a $100 relief fund. It was super simple, a simple application, I think 5 questions. They didn't ask for taxes. They didn't ask if I was profitable. They just asked what I need. $100 on Cash App. And it was so simple and so quick, I remembered that. So when we had the Texas winter storms about 2 weeks ago, I said, okay, that $100 came right on time. A lot of these other grants, you know, people want to go through all this rigmarole and doing, you know, water drives and handing out bottled water and doing tough stuff 2 and 3 weeks later. I know in a crisis, you need immediate action right now. Immediate. And, you know, so I got $500 of my own money because, you know, thank God, after years, I'm in a position, you know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
I can stroke a $500 now and not even think about it. And some of my other friends were like, that's amazing. And they gave me an additional $700. So I was able to fund 12 Black women women entrepreneurs in $100 increments via their Cash App. I put a whole campaign around it on Instagram so that people would see the donors as well as the recipients, because there's no anonymous in 2021. But it was immediate action, immediate results. And I remember from the Dooney Fund how quickly I got that money and how much I needed it during COVID. I mean, that $100 can stretch just enough to get groceries, gas, and keep my Wi-Fi on. Just get me through the next 31 days until I can get to the next account. So,
how can everyone in our audience follow the Champagne and Melanin movement online? Is it Instagram, Facebook? How can they keep up with you and everything that you have going on?
Absolutely. Everything starts on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram at Champagne and Melanin, click on the link tree. Right. Everything is in there. The newsletter sign up, the merchandise shop, the donor application form, as well as women that are struggling right now that need that $100 grant. The grant application form is on there also.
Oh, wow.
So just hit my link tree. Everything is in there in order. It's $100 increments if you want to donate. And as a woman entrepreneur, just fill out the application. If you are still in need from the Houston weather and the Texan storms, fill it out. Because as the money comes in from donors, I just send it out. And that's how I fund it every Friday.
And one final question. When you think back on your upbringing and development, as a young girl, is there any members of your family or intimate social circle that may have been a business owner or entrepreneur that you might have felt like gave you a vision or inspired you or lit that fuse in you to move forward and push on this path of success that you've been on?
Definitely. I'm going to say my culture, which is all West Indian. I mean, I know you guys remember in Living Color, you know, them damn Jamaicans have 20 jobs, my right? So you need 10 more jobs, I will. Yeah. So literally, you know, with my mother being from Port Antonio, Jamaica, my father being from Georgetown, Guyana, I honestly will tell you it's in the blood. As you know, with West Indians, there's three parts to you know, what you're going to do. You're going to be a teacher, a nurse, or a doctor, or an engineer. So those are the four, you know, but every Jamaican has a job, but then they have 7 to 8 to 9 hustles. There's no such thing as doing one just thing.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, so I always knew I was going to end up doing it. I just wanted to make sure it was something I'd be happy in, that I'd be successful in, something that added value, and something that would make money.
I mean, I want to thank you so much for carving some time out of your schedule, because I know how it is on Thursdays, especially for business owners and entrepreneurs. Thursdays can be one of the busiest days. But I'm sure there are so many members of our audience that's going to take so many gems from this interview that they're going to impart into not only their personal brand, but also their thought process on how to push forward and build as a business owner. So please, one last time, share all your contact info with our audience, because I want everyone who's moved by your interview to be able to reach out and contact you today.
Absolutely. So you can reach me at www.julieogriffith.com. Right now, I have a 2021 publicity calendar on there that I'm doing for pre-order for $29. I know one big thing, you made a good point about that. Busy entrepreneurs, doing content and content creation is the bane of their existence. So I'm putting together a publicity calendar to move your business forward. It's on the links on there. If you guys go to my website and go to shop, I have all my press release packages, my consultations. Book a consultation with me. Let's sit down and chat about what you want to do. Absolutely. So you can reach me there. If you want to shoot me an email, you can reach me at julie@julieogriffith.com. At Champagne and Melanin, you can reach me at Champagne and Melanin or hello@champagneandmelanin.co. And then also always follow me on Instagram at Julie O. Griffith and at Champagne and Melanin. All the magic happens in my link tree. So if you want to track me down, you can always track me down there.
Thank you so much, Julie. Mr. Brooks,
Yes,
Texas
sir.
Real Estate King, man. Any final information you want to share with the audience? What's going on in the life of the Texas Real Estate King this weekend?
Well, tonight, most definitely, if you are thinking about becoming a licensed realtor, or you've started the coursework at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm about 5:30 this evening, we're going to be hosting a Meet the Broker. So come by. I'd love an opportunity to talk with you. My business partner and CEO of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, Michael G. Davis, will be there as well. So again, that's tonight about 5:30. Feel free to check out my Instagram at Texas Real Estate King, or text me at 281-924-4954 if you need more details on that. Also, I'm excited. Tomorrow, I will be a guest. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to be the 100 episode guest for 1409 podcast. So please feel free to follow those guys' pages at 1409 podcast on IG. But I'm going to be the 100 episode guest. I'm excited. You want to stop by, because I love the number 100, and I got some things I'm going to be putting in your cash app. So make sure you check us out.
Hey, man, appreciate you, Mr. Brooks, man.
Yeah.
Try not to just set it off too much on the 1409 podcast,
Come on, man.
We need you back here next Thursday, man.
No one's episode is going to have more views than mine, so
Hey,
y'all
man,
want to
look.
check this out.
Oh, big
That's
shout
how I'm
out,
about
man.
to do it.
Hey, appreciate the love, 1409. Go out there and represent, my guy.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. Once again, if you need anything, we're only a text, inbox, or DM away. So
Yep.
until next Thursday, we'll see you all then, and be blessed.